Today's Love This Way show is brought to you by The Club. The Club is a safe space I curated just for you. There's tips, challenges, downloads, ebooks, journals, coloring books. Just all you need to help you to succeed in your relationship endeavors. The best part? Each tier comes with free coaching sessions with me. So if you've been wanting to book a session with me but couldn't quite afford it yet, join a club and save hundreds. The coaching sessions alone are reason enough to join. With tiers starting at only $37 a month, you don't want to miss this opportunity. Visit shaliavinny.com, choose the membership level of your choice, and go to your calendar and book your free session. I can't wait to connect more with you. And make sure you mention Love This Way sent you. Hello and welcome to the Love This Way podcast, the show that exists to help men and women everywhere to be better at love. Never any gender wars, back and forth, or nonsense. Just great tips to help you find and sustain the love of your dreams. Because love is a journey, but you need direction. So get ready because each episode we're going to be talking about our real life issues, answering tough questions, and building solid relationships with one another as we heal, learn, and grow. I'm your host, your girl, Dr. Shalia Vinny, and today's show is all about why we leave our relationships and how to fix it on both sides. Can we talk about it? Every single day that I am online, I see comments from men saying how women initiate all of the divorces and we're the ones that break up the families. A man will sacrifice his happiness for his family, but a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness. I'm so tired of that quote because it's so untrue, by the way. Then there are women online proudly proclaiming how all men ain't ish, how they didn't show up for them in some way, or they call them sassy if, heaven forbid, they have a voice and they voice their frustrations that they have with women. Lots of ladies have gotten so caught up in their own experiences in the relationship that they don't even check in and see things from his point of view. Sometimes, as unhappy as women are, there are husbands that are feeling the same sentiment. They're just less likely to address it because they don't want to deal with the conflict. Women leave, and yeah, their reasons are valid. But guess what? Men have some valid points too. I saw a group of men the other day on a podcast saying that they were in marriages where they didn't even like their wives, so they treated them terribly on purpose, just in the hope that she would do the dirty work and leave the marriage so that they didn't have to be the bad guys and be the ones to have to go and file for the divorce. Now, I'm not talking about men like that. I'm talking about men who are married to women that they actually love and women who are married to men that they actually love. All this bullshit we see on social media about women trading up or wanting to take half of her husband's assets or thinking she can do better, etc., is not the real world. All of this crap about men not being decent humans who just want to drain the life out of women and cheat on her as much as he wants while she stays quiet and takes it is not the truth. Women make their own money and often have just as much, if not more, to lose when they're leaving a marriage nowadays as men do. Men have feelings and are just as entitled to be hurt and have needs as we are. So then, what is the truth? Why do we leave, really? Now get out of your feelings because here are the facts. Surely there are more reasons and I could talk about them, but for this show and the sake of time, I'm going to talk about the top 3 reasons that both sides leave. These are the research-backed facts. Let's start with the ladies. Reason number 1, emotional neglect and lack of emotional connection. This is when women feel unloved and unappreciated. Many women will file for divorce when they feel consistently emotionally neglected or unappreciated in the marriage. If their emotional needs for love, affection, and support are not met, they may reach a point where they feel the relationship is no longer fulfilling. There's also a loneliness in the marriage. Even when living with their spouse, a lot of women experience feelings of loneliness and isolation if there is a lack of emotional connection or intimacy. Over time, this can erode the foundation of the marriage, leading to a decision to divorce. Reason number 2, infidelity and betrayal of trust. Let's start with infidelity. A significant number of women file for divorce due to infidelity. The betrayal of trust and the emotional pain that is caused by a partner's affair can be irreparable for many women, leading them to end their marriage. Lack of trust, repeated infidelity, or other forms of dishonesty can destroy the trust within the relationship. And then without trust, it becomes challenging to maintain a healthy, insecure marriage, which prompts women to file for divorce. Reason number 3, conflict and communication issues. Chronic unresolved conflict. This is persistent unresolved conflicts that can create a toxic environment that wears down the relationship. Women may file for divorce when they feel that conflicts are never resolved, leading to a constant state of tension and just general unhappiness, feeling anxious all the time and having to keep it to herself because when she brings it up, it's like, why are you living in the past, or why are you ruining the present? And then when the truth is, she was never given the safe space needed to fully process her feelings with you and tell you how it made her feel. So for her, it was never resolved. She just stopped talking about it to appease you. But this leads her to a state of a constant prison on the inside. Then there's poor communication. Ineffective communication where issues are not addressed or conversations turn into arguments, this can cause a significant strain on the marriage. When communication breaks down to the point where women feel unheard, misunderstood, or constantly in conflict, they might choose to leave the marriage because they feel as though this will never change and it's always going to be an issue. At that moment, she is done because she has literally lost all hope. Okay, so now let's talk about the fellas. Why do our men get unhappy and leave? Number 1, emotional disconnection, lack of emotional intimacy. Men may leave a relationship when they feel emotionally disconnected from their partner. This can happen if they believe their emotional needs are not being met, or if there's a lack of affection, appreciation, or emotional support. Over time, the absence of emotional intimacy can lead to feelings of loneliness and dissatisfaction for men. Feeling unappreciated. Men often express that they leave relationships when they feel unappreciated or taken for granted. If they perceive that their efforts, contributions, or presence are not valued, they may feel disillusioned and consider leaving the relationship. Reason number 2, sexual dissatisfaction, lack of physical intimacy. A decline in physical intimacy or a mismatch in sexual desires can lead men to feel unfulfilled in their relationship. Sexual dissatisfaction is a significant reason that some men cite for leaving, especially if they feel that their needs are consistently unmet or even ignored. Infidelity. Now, this could be their own or their partner's. Some men leave due to their own infidelity, often as a result of unmet sexual or emotional needs when they're within their marriage. Conversely, discovering a partner's infidelity can also lead to the decision for him to leave. Yes, women cheat too, especially if the trust and the bond in the relationship are irreparably broken. Number 3, persistent conflict and lack of peace. Y'all know they say this all the time. They want you to be their peace. So this looks like constant arguments. Persistent conflict, including frequent arguments and unresolved disagreements, can create a stressful and toxic environment. Men may leave when they feel that that relationship has become more conflict than about companionship, leading them to seek peace and stability elsewhere. Incompatibility. Over time, some men may recognize fundamental incompatibilities with their partner that lead to a constant tension and conflict. Now, when these indifferences seem to be insurmountable and there are attempts to resolve it, but they seem to all fail, leaving the relationship can seem like his best option because it's no longer cheaper to keep her when it cost him his peace. That price is way too high for men. Hey friend, make sure you check out shaliavinny.com. You can join a club there. You can book one-on-one coaching sessions with me. You can buy my books there. Oh, and you can get free advice from me now. Go to shaliavinny.com, click the free advice tab, and go ahead and submit your question. I will be answering those questions on my social medias, so make sure you do that because you don't want to miss out. Love you guys. So we've been discussing the reasons why we leave. Now let's talk about what we can do to prevent the leaving. Fellas, if you want your woman to be happy, here's what you can do about each of the top 3 reasons she leaves. Number 1, address emotional neglect and rebuild emotional connection. Show appreciation and affection. Express gratitude. Regularly acknowledge and express appreciation for the things your wife does, whether it's big or small. This will help her to feel valued and seen. Affectionate gestures. Show affection through both words and actions. Simple gestures like holding hands, giving hugs, or leaving a thoughtful note can reinforce emotional intimacy. Prioritize quality time. Make time for her. Prioritize one-on-one moments where you can connect without distractions. Plan regular date nights or activities where both of you can enjoy and strengthen your bond. Be emotionally available. Listen actively. When your wife expresses her feelings or concerns, listen without interrupting or immediately trying to fix it. Sometimes she just needs to feel heard and understood. Share your feelings. Open up about your own emotions and experiences because vulnerability can deepen the emotional connection and create a safe space for both of you to share openly. Support her needs and aspirations. Help her. Don't leave her to carry the load of the house alone. If she works outside of the home like you do, help her inside the home. Wash dishes, do laundry, vacuum, cook meals for her sometimes, or cook together. Don't let her be a single married mother. Give her a break and help with the kids and the home duties. And don't do it just because you want something in return. Do it because you love her and you care about her well being. She's going to love and appreciate you so much more for having her back and not making her do it all. Encourage her growth. Support your wife in pursuing her personal goals and interests, whether they relate to her career, her hobbies, or just personal development. Showing interest in her aspirations will strengthen your partnership. Be supportive during tough times. Offer emotional support when she's going through a difficult time. Empathy and understanding during those times can significantly strengthen your relationship. Number two, rebuild trust and address issues of infidelity. Commit to being transparent. Be honest and open. If there's been a breach of trust, it's crucial to commit to complete honesty and transparency moving forward. This might include being open about your whereabouts, your finances, and other areas of concern. Rebuild trust gradually. Understand that rebuilding trust takes time, so be patient and consistent in your actions to show her that you're committed to truly regaining her trust. Make amends for past hurts. Sincere apologies. If there's been an infidelity or any form of betrayal, offer a sincere and heartfelt apology, acknowledging the hurt that you've caused and taking full responsibility. You might even want to seek counseling together. Consider couples therapy to work through issues of trust and infidelity. You always know you can reach out to me if you need some help. Strengthen the emotional bond. Focus on intimacy. Rebuild emotional and physical intimacy by being attentive to your wife's needs and desires. Foster closeness through meaningful conversations, shared experiences, and affection. Show consistency. Demonstrate through consistent actions that you are committed to the relationship and making it work. This consistency helps in rebuilding trust over time. It really does work. Number three, the last one, resolve conflict and improve communication. Develop effective communication skills. Practice active listening. Ensure that during disagreements, you are listening to your wife's perspective without interrupting or dismissing her feelings. Acknowledge her points before responding. Use I statements. When discussing sensitive topics, use I statements to express your feelings without blaming or criticizing. For example, I feel hurt when, instead of you always. Address issues constructively. Focus on solutions. Instead of dwelling on the problem, work together to find a solution that satisfies both of you. Approach conflicts as a team, not as enemies. Avoid escalation. If your tempers are rising too much during disagreements, just suggest taking a break and returning to the conversation when you're both calmer. This will help to prevent arguments from escalating higher. And then be willing to compromise, negotiate and compromise. Like if you're wanting to talk to your wife and she's trying to tell you something, be open to compromise and find a middle ground in disagreements. Show that you value her opinion and that you're willing to make adjustments for the sake of the relationship. You don't always have to agree with her to show that you understand, but help her to let her feelings be free by just listening to her and acting like you care, because you should. Now, ladies, we've got our work cut out for us too, because if you want your man to be happy, here's what you can do about each of the top three reasons he leaves. Number one, rebuild emotional connection. Show appreciation and respect. Express gratitude. Regularly express appreciation for your husband's contributions, whether that's at home, in his work, or in the relationship. Feeling valued and respected is crucial for maintaining emotional connection. Acknowledge his efforts. Recognize the efforts he makes, even in small things. Compliment and thank him genuinely, making him feel seen and appreciated. Be emotionally available. Respect that man. Don't talk down to him. Don't talk at him. Don't belittle him. Speak tenderly to him. Speak life into him. Listen actively. When your husband shares his feelings or concerns, listen without interrupting or dismissing them. Make an effort to understand his perspective and understand and respond with empathy. Don't listen to respond or to be right. Support his emotional needs. Pay attention to his emotional cues and offer support when he seems stressed or worried or down. Sometimes just being there to listen and offer comfort can make a huge difference. If you know that he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, be his soft place to land. Spend quality time together. Prioritize time together. Set aside regular time to do things that you both enjoy. This could be date nights, hobbies, or just spending quality time together. When you prioritize together, it strengthens your bond completely. Engage in meaningful conversations. Beyond daily routines, engage in deeper conversations about your dreams and aspirations and future plans. This fosters a stronger emotional connection when you check in with him more than just about the issues and problems at home or bills. It's a great way to stay connected. You should be laughing with him, be goofy, make jokes. You should also be number two, enhancing your physical and emotional intimacy and address sexual dissatisfaction with him. Communicate openly about your intimacy. Discuss desires and boundaries. Have open, honest conversations about your sexual relationship. Discuss what you both enjoy, any concerns or desires you have, and respect each other's boundaries. But be open to feedback. Encourage your husband to share his feelings about your sexual relationship and be open to his feedback without taking it personally. Use this as an opportunity to grow together because if there's something that he wants to do with you, within reason and boundaries, of course, be open to it. Initiate physical affection. Now, when is the last time you had sex with him without him having to ask for it or beg for it? Show appreciation and affection regularly. Physical touch is an important aspect of intimacy, so make a habit of showing affection through small gestures like holding hands, hugging, kissing, even outside of the bedroom. Be playful, be adventurous. Keep your sexual relationship exciting by being open to trying new things together. Maintaining a playful and adventurous attitude will always enhance physical intimacy and satisfaction. Take it out of the bedroom, switch it up. Be fun, be unexpected. Grab his junk, let him know you love it. Girl, your man loves it when you tell him how much you love his sex. Speak life into his loins and your sex life. Never stop sharing that bond with each other. Sex is not a chore. It's a beautiful part of the relationship and it helps you keep your connection with each other. Focus on emotional intimacy too. Build emotional closeness. Physical intimacy is often closely tied to emotional connection. So work on building an emotional intimacy by being vulnerable, sharing your feelings, and supporting each other emotionally. And then create a safe space. Make your relationship a safe space where both partners feel comfortable expressing their desires and concerns about intimacy without fear of judgment or rejection. Number three, resolve conflict and improve communication. Develop effective communication skills. You got to practice active listening too. When you're discussing any issue, listen to his perspective without interrupting him. Acknowledge his feelings and validate his experiences as well before you respond. Use constructive language. Stop using I statements to express how you feel. For example, I feel hurt when instead of you never. This encourages a more productive conversation. You got to stay calm during conflicts, ladies. All of this disagreeing that escalates and then you just go crazy because you're in your feelings. I suggest you take a break to cool down before you continue the discussion. This can help to prevent arguments from becoming heated and unproductive. Focus on solutions. Rather than dwelling on the problems, work together to find solutions that work for both of you. Approach conflicts like a team. You are not enemies, and you also have to be willing to compromise, ladies. Negotiate and compromise. Find a middle ground in disagreements. Show your husband that you value his opinions as well and that you're willing to make adjustments for the sake of your relationship too. It is give and take, ladies. Forgive and move forward for the love of God. Let go of the past grievances that have been resolved. Holding on to grudges can prevent the relationship from moving forward and you healing. If you forgave him and he's actively trying to show you that he has changed and he wants to be better, let him do that. Stop looking back and reminding him of the past when you see that man is trying. You promised to love each other, and you made a vow to do so. So you don't get to check out on each other. Love is a commitment and a choice. When things aren't good, that's when you find out what you're truly made of. You can weather a storm if you're willing to share the umbrella and walk together. A successful marriage requires ongoing effort, mutual respect, and a willingness to grow together. By showing love, support, and understanding, you can strengthen your bond and create the lasting, happy partnership that you both deserve. I am rooting for you always. If you need more help, you can always go to shaliavinny.com and book a one-on-one session with me. I love you guys so much. Stay together. Today's show is brought to you by The Club. Please rate the show on your favorite streaming platform and share it with one person who you think needs to hear it and ask them to do the same. Remember to never stop showing up for yourself and the love you desire to have. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. Until next time, your friend and relationship strategist, Dr. Shalia. Bye.